Chat, load up your weird champs. Get them ready, because we're about to witness something that will make you not want to be a lefty anymore. That is how obnoxious this is about to be. So, who here is familiar with In the Heights? In the Heights is a play, a musical, I should say, and it is obscenely progressive, which is nice. It is about, so Lin-Manuel Miranda is in it, which is pretty cool. It seems to star Anthony Ramos, Stephanie Beatriz, Melissa Barrera, and it's pretty progressive. It's very progressive. Now, what is the story of this musical? Well, I haven't seen it, so I don't know. However, from what I'm able to pick up on, it seems to be a musical about the life of Hispanic people, of Latin people, I guess we'll say. I'm not saying Latinx. I will kill myself on stream before I ever say Latinx, unironically. Living in Washington Heights, right? Very, not white area in, I believe, New York. It's interesting, right? It's a very progressive idea, right? To have a musical, very popular, very progressive musical, talking about the issues that POC face in, society, right? They're very good, right? The problem is, apparently, it's not black enough. You're probably wondering right now, Zan, why are you talking about this? This sounds like something the quartering would cover. This sounds like something the quartering would get upset about. Well, let's go ahead and watch. Just prepare to cringe, okay? Good luck, guys. Good.
Congratulations on.
So that's all good, right? The musical looks good, Lin-Manuel Miranda, can't go wrong with that. I liked Hamilton. I know it's lib shit. I liked Hamilton. Fuck you. Now is where the cringe happens. Prepare yourselves. Load the weird champs. Have them ready.
On In the Heights, it was a lovely musical. But as a Black woman of Cuban descent, specifically from New York City, it would be remiss of me to not acknowledge the fact that most of your principal actors were light-skinned or white-passing Latinx people.
It would be remiss of me to say that most people in the cast were light-skinned, sure, or white passing and then Latinx people, right? Really? Let's keep going.
Actors were light-skinned or white-passing Latinx people. So with that, what are your thoughts on the lack of Black Latinx people represented in your film?
Yeah, I think that was something we talked about and I needed to be educated about, of course. In the end, when we were looking at the cast, we tried to get the people who were best for those roles, and that specifically, and we saw a lot of people like Daphne or Dasha. But I hear you on, trying to fill those cast members.
Dude, listen, all right. It's good to call out media for not properly or sufficiently being representative enough of certain groups. But there's a certain point where you have, I'm pretty sure part of the thing, doesn't In the Heights not have a single white person in it? I may be wrong about this, but I think I saw this on Twitter or something. I haven't seen it yet. But I remember seeing this on Twitter. I believe In the Heights doesn't have any white people in it, in any at least main character role. Maybe in the background somewhere at some point, an extra, but from my understanding, not a single white person in it, which is fine. In fact, it's great because, more representation, obviously. However, I feel as though it's almost the way that she's wording this argument kind of makes it seem like she's sort of stealing the Latin identity from the actors because she thinks they're too white or not dark enough.
With darker skin, I think that's a really good conversation to have something that we should all be talking about.
I didn't realize until making this movie that I didn't really get to see myself or people that look like my siblings that are darker than me on screen. And I didn't realize how much that affected the limitations that I put on myself, being someone who wanted to be an artist and be an actress and, you know, even be in the Latin music industry, being Afro-Latina. I feel so blessed we get to express.
So that's more or less all there is to see about the video. We've covered this on stream before. It's basically the actors talking about how we're sorry that there wasn't enough darker skin. Oh my god, even the tweet. Oh my god. Wait, is this actually going to be a thing now? Is Latinx actually just going to be a thing now? Have we actually lost on this one? Is it just actually a thing now? I don't know. Okay. So, the part that got to me was the comments. Their response to the lack of Afro-Latinx representation in the film is problematic. The most qualified person is always light-skinned or white. This is always the response to why they don't have black people. It's clear that they rejected Latin people in the audition process. So accusing the creators of this extremely progressive musical of being racist, just the right people for the roles, not a single white person there. We're not going to get everything right in a movie is not good enough answer when talking about representation, especially coming from, Jesus Christ, dude! They're so mad! The best reply that they could give was that there's dark-skinned dancers. Oh, I'm mad? It's a musical! Okay. Listen, I understand wanting representation, but this is a touch grass moment right here. That's what this is. This is a touch grass moment. This is a go outside and touch some fucking grass moment right here. That's what we're getting. Not surprising coming from the same problematic team of Hamilton. Oh boy. How old is this person? Well, the fact that they don't seem to be 14 is upsetting because they're acting like a 14-year-old. Anyway, guys. Oh boy. Something that people need to understand is that politics is all about optics. It's true. It is. Politics is all about optics at the end of the day. Who wins and who loses in the war of political discourse is optics. It really doesn't matter at the end of the day who's correct. If it mattered who was correct, there would have never been a Republican president. There would have never been, the Nazis would never have been able to take power and had any popularity. When it comes to who wins in political discourse, it's the optics. It's who looks best. Nowadays, it's who has the spiciest memes, who has the most entertaining content creators, who is able to pull the most people into voting or advocating for particular positions. That's what determines who wins. And when you've got tons of people who are so confrontational to the point where they will cancel an obscenely progressive piece of art that I believe doesn't even have a single white person in it even. You can criticize it, don't get me wrong, but to attack it, and I use the words attack very specifically. What we saw there was more attacking than criticism. When that's what you're seeing from the outside looking in at the left, it makes the left look so fucking bad. I had to cover it. I saw that video on Twitter like a week or so ago, and I couldn't not talk about it. I had to. It was just... It made me do one of those deep sighs. It's like when you see it, and like you get a pit in your stomach because what you just saw leaves such a bad taste in your mouth. It's like one of those sighs, you know? Woke schools will always attack more progressive pieces of media / figures in order to increase their own clout. That's the thing, though. I don't think that's what this is. These aren't the 14-year-old pit crew avatars on Twitter. These are people who are a little bit more into like the more like these people are way more like mainstream than like the woke skulls are. We aren't talking about woke skulls here. These are just normal people. These are just normal progressive people on Twitter acting fucking crazy to anyone who isn't in on what they believe. Now, I know what their point is. I understand their contention. I understand. Fucking Washington Heights in real life is like 90% like black Hispanic or something like that. It's fucking crazy. While the show is like mostly light-skinned, Latin people, right? So I understand where their criticism is coming from completely. However, the way they went about doing it might be the most toxic way to do it possible. I understand it's the internet and people are mad, but when it comes to politics, it's all about optics. And these optics are stinky. Stinky, stinky optics. Bad optics. Stop it. No, Lonnie, I think these people are more so like just regular people on Twitter. Or the more politically active people on Twitter, I should say. Anyway, that's really all I wanted to say. With all that said, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, subscribe, ring the bell icon if you haven't already, so YouTube actually tells you when I upload or do anything like that. You can also follow me on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter through links in the description, as well as joining my fan Discord. Join the Harem Legion, the Sex Legion, rather than the Sex Harem. You can also support me financially, if you can afford to, by donating or subscribing on my website, xanderhall.com/live, super chatting, or hitting the join button to become a channel member on my YouTube, or donating a sub, or subbing or prime subbing on Twitch. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good one.